Hello, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Mark, and welcome to another episode of the Rogue-a-thon, the series where I showcase roguelikes from my Steam library while also talking about their design. First, I'll be playing through the run a little bit, explain the game and its mechanics, and then I'll give my thoughts on the game as a whole. Timestamps below if you want to skip ahead. Today we're taking a look at a game called Slice and Dice, and this is our second dice deck building game of the week. You know, this is Dice Week. I wanted to showcase this game after playing the one that we did yesterday, which was a very different type of deck building game. Because effectively, yeah, they both use dice, but they both use it in very, very different ways. So I was kind of excited to be able to showcase Slice and Dice because I found this game a few months ago, and I've got to say I've been absolutely loving it, and I definitely want to showcase it to everybody so I can talk about some of the really cool and unique aspects of this game that I think could really use some good attention, because it's a fantastic little game. It's little in some ways and like huge in others. It's quite surprising. So we're going to be taking a look at this together. We'll get to some action in just a moment, but there's something I wanted to showcase before even getting into how the game works, right? Check this out. So these are options. Cool. You know, I think it's always important to look at options of certain games before even getting into the game. The first thing I always do is look at the accessibility options and options. I know that's a very nerdy thing for me to do, but I remember when I first got this game and I looked into like the options and stuff, I was already quite intrigued because first of all, I love the fact that you can see the music with the actual track, and you can actually, you know, you have a jukebox. That's quite cool. But then look at all these options, and when you go on these options, I was like, whoa, what is all this craziness? This game's accessibility options are above and beyond any game I've seen this year, especially for this kind of small game. There are so many things you can adjust. I think it's really important to showcase that every now and then, because people don't realize how important these things can be for certain people. And here there's just so many different ways to play this game for anybody's comfort. You got your jukebox, which is great. You got your whole options here. And one really, really cool option feature I wanted to show was this bypass unlocks. If you look at the unlocks tab, you can see all the different heroes and different monsters. We're going to go through those more as I play and you can understand the game. But there's a lot of unlocks, way more than I would expect from a game like this. And the more you unlock things, the more complicated they tend to be, because this game has a really, really good pacing in general. If you're really experienced with these games and you don't have time to unlock everything and you just want to see more content, you can just skip it. You can just press the skip button on the options, bypass unlocks, and you can just play every single item and character in the game, like that. Now, I think it's awesome. Some people might think it's, you know, that's not you wouldn't want that in the game, right? And I think it depends on the kind of game, right? Like Isaac, for instance, you can unlock a new path towards the final boss, and you can unlock a new final boss, and you discover new things. While here the unlocks is just more content over the core content of the game, if that makes sense. You know, like you're just going to unlock a new character, new items, but you're not going to unlock a brand new different path. Yes, you will unlock new different kind of final bosses, but the final bosses in this game are just another fight like any other. They're just more and more hard as you progress. It's not a super big spoiler in my opinion. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. And again, I cannot stress how many awesome accessibility and options there are in this game. I think it's really, really cool. So that's my little nerdy, you know, sidebar that I thought I wanted to bring up before jumping into the game. But we are going to play a normal classic run, I think. And another cool feature, again, I will talk about it more in detail later on. There are so many modes. What the hell? Look at all these modes. They all are different ways of playing the game. It's kind of crazy. This game has a lot, and that's already a massive thumbs up in my book. All right, so let me actually show the game. We're going to be playing on normal. Normal is way less complicated, I would say. You could choose your party layout. We are going to go for a basic party layout. All right, and this is the start of the game. You're already seeing a lot of things on screen. You might be a little overwhelmed. Do not worry. When you actually first play this game, you will not have this extra window. This is if we want to add extra complexity to the game. These are modifiers that give you benefits, but also negative things. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to skip all of it, and we're going to let the game just play. So, how does this game work? Well, we control 5 heroes, and you fight different enemies. We need to get through 20 battles. Each battle is going to be new enemies with unique, little simple mechanics, generally. And I feel like almost every fight is kind of like a little mini puzzle game. Each of our characters have their own dice, just 1 dice each. And there's a lot of characters and there's a lot of different enemies, so that can already be a lot, which is why most of the dice are pretty straightforward. If you read anybody's dice, it should make a lot of sense. This game has a lot of keywords, but I feel like all the keywords are pretty easy to understand and usually are limited to just 1 or 2 little lines of text. So you can really grasp everything quite easily. It's just a matter of remembering everything and having to read things over and over again. But I feel like this game is super easy to understand, which is great, because that was not the case for the game that we played yesterday. So, every time that a turn starts, the enemies roll their dice. As you can see, this is the dice of the boar, and this is the dice of the archer. It is random, and once they've rolled their dice, we roll our dice, but we have a reroll option. In here, you can pick whatever dice you want to keep, and then reroll however many you have left 2 times. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, which is great, because the inherent issue of dice deck building games usually is the fact that it's super, super luck based, because instead of just drawing cards, which is already a luck factor that's hard to design around for a lot of deck building games, here you have 6 random faces of a die, right? That's a lot of luck involved. But the fact that you have 5 of them and you can reroll all of them 2 times and keep whichever one you want actually opens up a lot more strategy, which is great. So, if we look at the boar's attack, you got this one, which is 2 damage to the top and bottom enemies, and the archer got 3 damage. Each enemy will also have a unique little passive little thing, just, that's kind of like the puzzle aspect. For instance, this little icon here says that must be removed individually, which is the last part of its HP, and this archer has back row, which all of these will make more sense as we start playing. So, this is our health, and let's actually pick some dice. So I'm not going to show every single side every time. I'm just going to pick ones I know I want, and then I will explain the rest. So let's grab this guy, because I know that's going to be good. We got the gaze, so gain 1 reroll future. The cut, it's 2 damage to an ally, then 2 damage to the topmost enemy. Yep, that's what I figured. Let's reroll again. These are not good options. Okay, that's much better. Cool. So now we can look at the dice that we rolled. This is deal 1 damage, and it also has the cruel keyword. The cruel keyword says that it deals 2 times the damage if the target is on half or less HP. Pretty straightforward. Got it. We've got our generic shield. This is shield 2. Cool. I can select that on anybody. This is deal 2 damage, but heavy tag, which means I can only target the one that has the most HP. So it's like it's not great to have that. It's kind of it's a minus effect, right? And then you've got heal, shield 1, and gain 1 mana. So 3 in 1 in this little thing. Heal obviously heals HP. 1 shield is what you would expect, and then mana gain I will explain in just a second. And this guy gives you 2 mana pain. It gives us 2 mana, but you also take 2 damage. Cool. So now we know all those dice that we've rolled. Let me explain the mana portion. Mana is actually pretty easy to understand, in my opinion. Every time that you play with champions that have mana, so for instance, this buckle guy, he will never be able to do mana stuff. Same for the ruffian and the lost. But these 2, they come with inherent mana modifiers. So that means that we can gain mana through their dice. Mana can be used to cast spells. And what are our spells? Well, we always have the burst spell. That's it. The burst spell is always going to be an option for every single run. Just it's a core mechanic. So we can always spend 2 mana to deal 2 damage or shield 2. So it's 2 damage against an enemy or shield 2 to myself. So we know you can always use 2 mana for that. But every character will also come with an additional spell. Any character that has mana. So for instance, since we've rolled into the Mystic randomly, the Mystic comes with the Gaze spell, which is right here. And the gaze is 1 mana, gain 1 reroll in the future. So if we spend 1 mana, then the next turn we'll get 1 extra reroll. The cultist also comes with its own spell called Cut. And Cut says 3 damage to an ally, then 2 damage to the topmost enemy. It has cooldown, which means I can only do it once per turn. So that's the basics of mana and pretty much most of everything in this game. So obviously this is pretty, like dealing 2 damage for 1 mana is pretty powerful, but you take 3 damage, so it can be a little rough. So let's do our action here. We want to kill the boar because the archer has a unique keyword, back row, which means that we can't actually interact with it because it's behind the boar. This is one of the few keywords that doesn't seem to actually explain it. There are very few mechanics that don't explain how it works. Back row, I think, is one of the very only ones, but it makes sense once you play it a little bit. So I'm going to take 2 damage and gain 2 mana here. I'm going to give my cultist the shield and heal because it took damage from it. So cool. We now have 3 mana. I'm going to give shield to my lost so it doesn't take damage. And as you might have realized, as I'm doing all this, you're seeing that the game gives you information about how much damage your character is going to be taking at the end of the turn, because we do our actions first and then the enemies actually do the things that is showcasing. So right now we know that our buckle is going to take 3 damage and our cultist is going to take 1 damage even though we have the shield. It takes into account, so you always know what's going on. Another great feature is you can undo any action, including ones where like you do this and then it kills you. The game's like, no problem, man, I got you. And you can undo. You can just always undo actions. It's really cool. It's because they really want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes. You don't like randomly do something wrong, and you try to have as much skill as possible in this game that obviously has a lot of RNG into it. So we're gonna use the 2 damage here on the board. We're gonna do this 1 damage. Unfortunately, we can't really trigger the cruel, or can we? On half or less XP. Actually, we can, and I'm going to do that. I'm gonna do a burst here, and that's gonna trigger the cruel because it's on half HP, and then we just have to deal 1 more damage to remove the outer layer. So we can do cut because normally we're supposed to take 2 from the boar anyway. So I'm gonna cut the lost, and it's gonna kill the boar, and we can end our turn. The archer is attacking the buckle. You can always see what where the action of every enemy is through clicking here, or just different options you have here. Cool. Now the archer is all alone, so it doesn't really matter what we do. I'm just going to grab this, reroll for fun, and you know what? I'm done rolling. I'm just going to kill it. Now, when you kill an enemy, a few things happen. When you win a battle, a few things happen. First of all, you regain all your hit points. I think this is a very critical aspect of this game. Nothing is lost permanently in this game. There is no big problem to like dying. When you die, the only thing that happens, if one of my characters died last fight, they would start this next battle half health. But you never lose anything permanently. No amount of mistake can really screw you in the long run. And I think that's something you don't see very often in roguelikes anymore. This is why I find this game to be so casual. Because even if you don't do something like, even if you have a terrible fight and you think you have to use a lot of resources to get through the fight, that's not a thing in this game. There's no such thing as like consumables. There's no such thing as like, oh, you use that one-time effect. No. If you go through a fight and you go to the next one, you're good. That's great. I think that's a really, really, really cool concept that I think is like, it's a really cool feature in this game that you might be surprised to realize there's not many games that do that I've played in the roguelike genre. In between fights, you get a few things. It goes between, basically you will always be able to promote one of your heroes into a new class, or get an item. Because we do have an inventory, we can actually add items to our characters. These items are so cool, by the way. Man, did they do a good job with the design of the items. So right now, we're going to promote one of our classes, and then next fight, when we complete it, we'll be able to actually get a new item, which is great. There also can sometimes be some unique little events. For instance, this thing. This thing says if we add an extra monster to this fight, we will be rewarded with this item. This is going to be an item that we can put in the inventory for anybody to just wear. And for instance, this is Reign of Hours. Replace the top side of your dice with 1 damage range duplicate. Range means you can target any enemy. And duplicate means copy this onto all allied sides this turn. Got it. So if I were to take the risk, then I could change any dice currently with the top layer to have this range thing. This is a level 2 item, so there's definitely very, very different levels of items. Some are insanely powerful. I don't care too much about this, and I don't want to take the extra risk right now, so I'm just going to decline, do a normal fight. We're going to promote one of our heroes. It always randomly picks 2 heroes, and we'll promote them into random possible heroes of their class. So it picked the Lost and Cultist. We can transform the Lost into a Gambler, which has 5 damage, 3 damage, and 1 damage. So it's like really luck-based, this guy. Or we can also upgrade our Cultist to a Miko, which has some interesting things I honestly don't like. And I don't like any of these, so I'm instead going to pick a random tier 2 level up, because I don't like any of these options. Okay, this guy now became a knight instead. The knight has shield 3 and steel, which give +1 pipe for each shield I have. So if I already have shield, then when I land on this, I can give even more shield to anybody. It also has a 3 damage, but it has exert, which means that it replaces all sides with blanks until the end of the next turn, which means that if we use that, our next dice is going to suck. But it's 3 damage. It also comes with a parry option, which I will explain later. Okay, cool. So I'm pretty happy with the knight. Okay, so you can immediately see our mystic is about to die currently. And then we take a little bit of damage here and here and here. Okay, let's keep the 3 shield for our knight. 2 mana, pain. Maybe keep that. Yeah, let's keep that. These 2 suck. Okay. So this is deal 5 pain, which means that we deal 5, but we also take 5. So let's see what's going on here. This B is dealing 4 damage to my mystic, but it also dies in the process. I feel like I would like to kill this before it does that, so I can just save my mystic and not have to worry about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the pain for the cultist. I'm gonna burst the B here. Also, this wolf is doing a cleave attack. Just 1 damage to 3 characters. That's not a big deal. I think I'm going to deal the 4 damage here. So I'm going to shield my ruffian, and I'm going to deal the 5 damage. Bonk. So we both took a lot of damage here. But even though right now it says I'm dying by 1 point, I'm going to heal my ruffian, and I'm going to have the Lost kill the wolf. And now my ruffian is going to survive with 1 hit point. Perfect. And then I can gaze for an extra reroll next turn. Alright. Got a bee trying to kill itself. We're not going to allow that. Just need a little bit of damage. That's not good damage. You just do not have good options, huh? Okay, fine, that's fine. Whatever. Alright. Kill you. Kill you. Burst the bee. Woo! Alright, fight 2 is over. And now we get to pick an item. These are level 1 items, so they're usually pretty situational, don't really do much, but let's take a look. This item gives us the Poultice spell. Heal 2 single cast. Oh, that's pretty good. Or we can get this Balance Song. Replace the left side of your die with 1 damage cantrip. Cantrip is a really cool mechanic. Cantrip activates during the rolling if it lands on it. So when we reroll a lot, if you have something that has cantrip, it will automatically trigger the effect even though you didn't choose it. There are entire runs and builds that can be around cantrips. Obviously, this item is not going to do much about it. I'm going to grab this single cast 2 heal. This means you can only use it once per battle, but 1 mana to heal 2 is really solid for one level 1 item. Each hero can have 2 item slots, so it doesn't really matter where we put it. Currently, we're going to give it to this little guy. So now we will have the spell to heal right here. Okay, the Thorns suck. They are really annoying characters. So the Thorns only have 2 health, but they have 2 very annoying mechanics. One, they are immune to abilities. That means all of these spells, can't use them against them. Two, when you actually hit them with an attack, we take 5 damage. So we need to shield and then kill it with something. That's for the lost. Doesn't really... Okay, so if I do this with the ruffian right now, the ruffian will take 5 damage plus 5 from attacking. Yes, too much damage, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take this. I can try to give some shield to someone who's going to kill it. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, so the lost can kill one. That's great. We just need to give it a bit of armor. So let's do that. Right now, he's attacking this. Okay, so we're going to kill this guy. Boom. So the lost took 5 damage. That's all good. And we can't actually deal any damage with our spells. So let's just heal the lost, shield the mystic because it's being attacked. And the cultist is going to take 3 damage. Now, a little detail about the mana. You might realize one of my mana right now is cut. That's because you can always store up to 3 mana each turn. Meaning that right now, if we don't use any spells, one of our mana is going to be disappeared. You could have 24 mana, and at the end, you're always going to end up with 3. So you always want to use mana above 3. So we're going to use 1 on reroll, and I'm going to keep the 3 for the next turn, if that makes sense. All right. It's trying to kill my mystic. We just need to look for some armor and a way to kill it. We need something that deals 2 damage. We need someone to have 2 damage. Can I have the ruffian take 10 damage? I think I can. I'm gonna keep it in case I don't get another thing. Okay. One more roll. Okay, so if I do this and I parry this, is that gonna be enough? Yes, it should be enough. I give another 2, and I kill it. Woo! Exactly. All right. Once again, we get all our characters back to full health, and we're all good. Let's upgrade another character. We can transform our Mystic into a Disciple, which is like a healing class, or our Cultist into a Calderat, which is an aggressive mage kind of thing. Single use, on half less HP. It comes with the Scald, which is a 3-cost spell that deals 2 damage to all damaged enemies. That's pretty powerful. This one replaces blank sides with heal and shield 2 this turn. Okay. I'm gonna take the Caldera. That was pretty cool. So now our little mage has a few more things in its arsenal. It has a 3 damage Cruel, which means that, you know, it deals 2 times the damage on half or less HP on the opponent. So it could deal 6 damage, but it says single use per battle. 1 damage and mana gain, 2 mana gain, and of course it does come with the Scald spell that we will see in just a second. We're fighting a troll. So the Scald is all the way down there. Trolls are scary. They have the regenerate 1 health at the end of each turn mechanic. You know, it's a troll. But that's okay. It also usually has a lot of area of effect stuff. Right now it's doing a 3 damage cleave to the 3 down here. So that's kind of spooky, but nothing that we can't deal with. Let's actually no, this guy. Yeah, no, 2 mana is pretty good. I feel like the lost can't really do much, so I'm gonna grab this thing. 3 damage, but then my next dice will be useless. I don't think that's worth it. I think I want my knight to protect my guys more than anything else, so let's re-roll that. Unfortunate. All right, let's get our mana and see what we have. We still have our poultice. We have more re-rolls. Okay, the parry. So the parry is a little interesting. Instead of using mana, some spells or abilities can instead use certain dice rolls. So for instance, here, if I do parry, I think all costs must be present. Oh yeah. Okay, so in order to use a parry, I need 2 attack somewhere on the board. This thing has 2 attack. That means that if I wanted, I could get rid of the 2 attack to do a parry, which shields 3. We're not going to do this turn, but it's good to know. Let's do this. And this is a 1 damage cleave, which is useless here. Oh, it's just 1 damage. And these 3 down there are going to take damage, but there's not much we can do about it. I'm thinking of doing a reroll here for the next turn because it is pretty useful. And yeah, we'll let the troll do its thing. Okay, this is 2 damage to absolutely everyone. So, a bit spooky. We do have a shield here for the knight. That's good. Another 2 damage here for the lost. That's pretty good. Let's reroll the other 2 options here. Heal and mana is pretty good for the mystic. And, ooh, we can deal 6 damage if we get to half HP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he has 15 health. Okay, so I have to go to 8 health. Got it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is... I have to get rid of this one. So I have to be... yeah, I have to get rid of this in order for this to work. We'll be able to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'll be 1 off, unfortunately. So I will not be able to trigger this extra effect, which is very unfortunate. Unless the ruffian gets more damage. Let's see. Okay. Didn't get it. That's okay. Alright, so let's do all the obvious. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's get the mystic to heal. Let's shield our mystic. And I think I'm going to... Yeah. 3 damage, unfortunately. Because we're not guaranteed to be able to roll it later on. So, yeah. Oh, well. I'm going to use my heal. No, I don't need to use my heal yet. We're just going to let this go. Hopefully we can kill the troll next turn, because right now we're getting a little low, but we should be okay. Alright, 3 damage cleave to the bottom layer. Ooh, can we kill him? 3, 5, 10. That should be enough. Our ruffian might die in the process, which could be a problem. We'll see. So let's do all the damage first. Yeah, we're good. We don't even need to use it. Because I forgot that the Lost got the 2 damage Cruel, which deals double damage if it's under half health. So we don't even have to kill any of our guys and just burst the troll down. Nice. Let's take a look at new items. These are level 2 items. We can get the Wild Seed, add Undergrowth to the 2 left sides. Undergrowth is, after use, the opposite side gets +1 pipe this fight. +1 pipe just means +1 power. You know, like... Just add 1 to the value, right? I have to use the opposite side, which means probably the other one gets an additional point. Okay, that's pretty good for the long fights, you know. Or spinach. Start of turn, you heal. Wait, T1 3. Start of turn. Oh, start of turn 1, you heal 3. I see. That's very specific because we always have all your health unless there's certain mechanics. So obviously this isn't for something specific. A lot of items are really specific and really unique little cool little things. Let's grab the Wild Seed and let's give it to something that we would like more of. So yeah, these 2 for instance. So because these heal, shield, and mana gain. If that gets to 2, that triples doubles, triples, quadruples the effect theoretically because you double the heal, double the shield, and double the mana gain. And same for here, you double the heal and double the mana gain. So that'd be pretty cool. That's still pretty unlikely to occur, but it's good to know. Okay, we've got a few little guys here. We've got 2 goblins and a militia. Goblins just flee if they're alone. They're just kind of annoying to deal a lot of damage. And the militia, if an enemy I target gets 5 shield, I flee. This means that right now, if the militia, who is focusing on the Lost, if the Lost gets 5 armor, the militia will just flee. There is no benefit to killing enemies. You don't get anything, you don't get XP, you don't get things for killing enemies. It's just a matter of going from one room to another. And that's, again, one of the beautiful parts of this game. You don't have to min-max to try to get more money out of something or more XP. No. You're just trying to get from one room to another. That's it. We could try to get 5 armor on our Lost. I feel like none of our characters give a lot of armor. If we get the shield, the 3 shield and 2 burst, that could be good enough. So we might try to do that. We do have this guy. That's pretty good. Last roll. We did get it. Cool. So we're going to give 3 shield here. 2 mana here, and we're gonna give the mana to the Lost, and boo, militia's gone. Nice. So now we just have to deal with 1 goblin because the other one will then run away. Shield, heal in 1 mana. The heal doesn't do anything, but we're gonna give it to our Caldera. And let's deal 1 damage to this goblin. Ugh, they rolled high. But if we just kill, it doesn't matter. If we just kill any of them, we win. So we just do boop, and the other one flees. Nice. On to fight 6. I love how you can see the fight before you upgrade and stuff like that. It's a nice touch. All right, we're gonna promote. What we got here? We can transform our Lost into a Dabbler, which has mana, which is kind of unusual. Just has basic, straightforward stats here. 2 damage, 3 damage, 2 shield, 2 mana, and 4 heal. It's basic. We could also go for the Vampire. Vampire deals 2 damage and self-heals. 2 mana, or heal 5. It also comes with the heal 1 to all allies, terminal, which does ×2 if the target is on 1 HP. I don't care too much about the self-heal, the healing thing. I think the healing strat is pretty specific. We could try it though. I don't know. I'm gonna think the Dabbler is pretty straightforward. Let's try the Dabbler. Alright. So these snakes are annoying. They give me poison. Poison is super frustrating. It constantly deals 2 unblockable damage. The only way to prevent poison, and that every turn. The only way to prevent that is by having a very special effect called Cleanse, which is a thing that I don't think any of us have. So we really want to make sure we kill these snakes. Also, they high rolled. They got the 2 damage each, which is rough. So we need to get rid of those. We did roll into a 3 damage. That's pretty good. We're going to keep that. The others did not roll very well. 2 mana. Let's look for something better. Okay, that's much better. Cool. So, also the quartz, if the quartz lands on this little icon here, it will die. So, for instance, it's on this health, and we deal 2 damage to it, it will bypass it and will be here. But if you just deal exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, it will just straight up die. So that's something we're trying to do. Okay. So, let's get our mana first. There's no healing. Doesn't matter. Healing doesn't matter, so we'll just do this. It doesn't cleanse, right? There's no cleansing. No, there's no cleansing. Okay. So currently, both snakes are targeting my dude down there. What the hell, guys? That's not cool. Don't appreciate it. Okay, one thing we can do here, we could do this called 2 damage to all damaged enemies. What we could do is we do a cleave. So the middle here, 1 damage to everybody. Then we do Scald. Boom. And now we just need to do a little bit of damage here, and we're gonna give the armor to our guy down there. Unfortunately, we're still gonna be affected by poison, so we only have a few turns before he eventually dies. But that's okay. We're probably gonna kill them all right now. We just need to deal 4 damage in total. That's good. We're gonna grab all this, and that should be everything. I like rolling because it's very satisfying. I was weakened by one of its attacks, so the ruffian can't deal any damage. Not very important. This automatically dies, and 3 damage. All right, new item. Obviously, the more you progress, the higher the level of the items. And let me tell you, some late game items are mwah. Okay, we've got the Pure Heart pendant, which is replace the middle side with heal 3 and cleanse, which is to prevent poison or any negative effect. Or the Whetstone, +1 pipe to all basic damage sides. And I think that's all just the swords. So I can give +1 damage to all my swords. That's okay. It's +1 damage here on both, +1 damage here, or I can replace a middle. Is there a middle? I don't care. Usually middle is pretty powerful. It looks like all my middle slots are pretty powerful, so I'm going to grab the Whetstone instead. And let me see. I don't think it works on the cleave. Yeah, it doesn't work on the cleave. It's just literally this icon here. We're going to give it to our little ruffian here. You deserve a little bit of love, buddy boy. There we go. We got 2 ogres. Ogres are scary. They have a pretty specific mechanic. Right now, they don't deal much damage. But they have that little thing there. Every time we bypass that, they deal +1 damage to all their rolls. And you might realize most of their attacks are just area of effect. So we want to make sure we try to bring them a little low and then one-shot them. You definitely do not want them to be in this area because otherwise they'll be doing a ton of damage. So we have to strategically figure out how we're going to be killing them. Cool. All right, so let's grab that. 3 damage. Let's see if we can kill... Oh, man, if we could land on the 6 damage, I think we can kill one of them, which would be sick. We did! Nice! Okay, so I think I can kill one of them, right? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3... Yes! So, if I do this, boom, and then do this, it goes roar, that deals more damage, but it takes 6 damage. Boom. Down. Perfect, that was pretty lucky. Let's give the shield to the ruffian, because it can actually do stuff with that. And we're going to get a reroll for next turn. So right now this ogre is not a big deal until we bring it low. It's just dealing 1 to everything. That's not a huge deal. I love the progression. It feels like things get stronger and stronger with really great pacing. We do not need heal. Let's grab the 2 damage to see if we can actually kill it this turn. Ooh, that looks promising. I'm gonna grab this. Okay. I'm gonna roll over time. Okay. Can we kill it? 6, 8, 10. It has 10 health, right? That's perfect. Because we can get 2 damage here, 3 damage here, 3 damage here, and 2 damage here. But again, if I was 1 off and I miscounted, you can undo everything other than the rolls. Obviously, you can't redo the rolls, right? Because that gives you information that you're not supposed to have. But it's great that it gives you that flexibility. Ooh, we got a scary... Oh, this guy's really cool. I'll explain a bit. Okay, so we got our last 2 tier 2 level ups to do. Okay, so you have to level everybody to level 2, and then you can start getting level 3 characters before the end. We got the priestess, which is all about healing. I don't like the healing stuff. The collector is not super interesting in my opinion. I'm gonna do a random one for fun. The brute. All right, brute is it has 3 damage heavy, which means I can only target the one with the most health. Damage and self shield for 2, pretty good. But more importantly, the most powerful thing is the stun. It stuns an enemy, any enemy, including bosses, with equal or less HP than the brute. That's super powerful. We did get rid of a whetstone, so we can give the whetstone to the dabbler, and you can still have this thing for fun. Okay, the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus. The sarcophagus. Okay, sarcophagus is interesting. The sarcophagus flees at the end of turn 3. And will drop a tier 3 or to 5 item if defeated. But it's really hard to kill because it starts off with 3 hits that need to be done individually. So if we do 6 damage right now, it will just get rid of one of those. You have to do 3 damage first, and then you can get through the health, and you can try to kill it. I don't know if that's going to be possible. The gnolls are also pretty problematic. They deal a lot of damage, but they also inherently reduce damage taken by 1. So... they're scary. So we'll see if we can even... I don't think we have enough damage. I don't think we have a really powerful build right now. I don't think we have anything close to being able to deal enough damage to sarcophagus. So I think we're just not going to try to go for the greedy play as much as I wish I could. We're just going to focus on trying to survive here. This is pretty good. Let's grab a shield and deal 3. Okay, cool. So, we can definitely kill a gnoll by doing 1 damage here and 2 damage here. Let's heal the Calder, whatever. Deal 2 damage to the gnoll here, and end our turn. It's gonna summon a spider. Summon 2 spiders. Ugh. Ooh, deal 4 damage. That's pretty powerful. We can heal and gain mana. Deal 2. Actually, wait. You have better than that. Let's get something better. That's better. Okay, cool. So let's deal 2 damage here. Yep. Let's heal the Mystic. We're unfortunately just going to deal very low damage here, but we're not going to deal any damage, pretty much. And let's get a reroll for next turn. It's going to summon 2 spiders. These spiders are kind of annoying, but oh well. It's going to leave next turn. Obviously, we cannot kill it. I doubt it, at least. I mean, how much health does it have? 1, 2, 3. What? Can you? Oh, 13. 13 health. 13 plus dealing 1 damage. Nah. Maybe if it didn't have the 1 damage prevention here, maybe. But not right now. So let's just focus on killing the spiders and surviving. Okay. You know what? That's good enough. All right. So 1 damage and heal for and 1 mana. Sorry. Kill a spider. Let's kill this spider. And we're going to end our turn. It's going to leave, and that will be it. Anvil. Smash this item to get a level 3 item. I don't think I care about the undergrowth that much. It hasn't really worked out for me, so yeah, that's a unique little thing. Sure. Pocket Phylactery. Add pain to the 2 left sides, but I gain 5 HP. Okay, so let's take a look if there's like something we don't care about having. Like this doesn't matter, right? Like if I take 1 damage as well from doing these things to get an additional 5 health, that's totally worth it. We could maybe find synergies later on for it. We get a new item. Level 4 items. Looking good, looking good. Replace blank sides with... Oh, this is a spell. This is a spell. Or... Troll Nose! We just regen? Oh, hell yeah. Someone could just regen health. Let's put it on the Brute. Because the Brute always wants to have high health. But the Brute also has a self-shield, so no, let's not do that. Let's put it on the Caldera. So now the Caldera will just constantly be regenerating. That's great. Okay, we've got a few things here. What is this? Ooh, the Grave will summon bones constantly. So we have to try to kill the Grave. The Wiz is a pain because we can't target the Wiz. It's behind enemy line. It's in the back row. But if you can somehow reach it, you can stun it very quickly. If you deal 2 damage, it will get stunned. The Fanatic deals insane damage, but also deals damage to itself. So it will die, but we did get the stun, so that's great. We could stun something. We could probably stun the Grave. Let's get this. I'm a little worried about my Knight here. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Let's give 2 shield here, and let's not forget that this thing grows if you inherently already have more shield, so that already works out. Boop. Okay. Can I stun the Grave? Yes, I can. That's really solid. Let's do this. Let's deal 3 to the Fanatic and get an extra reroll. So the Fanatic is going to deal all that damage to itself as well. Boom. Cool. And the Grave was not able to do anything. Oh my gosh, the Wiz is trying to summon some skeletons. We try to kill as many things as possible right now. So, we can grab that. We can grab that. Mystic, do you have a way of getting damage? Not really, so let's grab that, I guess. And yeah, that should work. Okay. So, you're going to deal 1 damage and gain 1 mana doing this. It'd be nice if we could kill this thing. It's a lot of resources, but I don't think there's any other way of doing it anyway. We're going to do a Scald at 3 mana to deal 2 damage to all damaged enemies. It's going to kill the... Well, I guess... I don't care about the Fanatic taking damage to my Mystic. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We're just going to do... Oh, actually, no, it is. It is. It is. Okay, here's the plan. I do Scald. Now I can just do... I can kill the Grave, and now the Wiz is not in backline anymore, so I can stun it. You don't have to... You don't get to summon skeletons. Perfect. The Wiz is trying to flee. Will you let them escape? The game realizes that there's no point in doing an extra turn right now because the Wiz has no chance. So you can just end the combat because again, there's no benefit to killing them. They even tell you enemies will try to flee if they think the fight is hopeless. There is no gameplay benefits either way. So I'm gonna actually trigger the auto flee. I didn't realize that you could do that, but that's just really nice. Boop. Goodbye. Okay, what are we gonna have our Mystic become? Yeah, it's a really, really nice, simple addition. I think it's really nice. I like the Druid. Druids are really cool. So the Druids comes with 2 mana on the sides here. Heal 2 and Cleanse, which is great. when there's poison. Shield 2 growth, which means that every time we use it, it grows. And deal 2 growth, which also grows. It also comes with balance. 1 damage to all enemies and heal 1 to all allies for 3 mana. So we're going to grab a druid. Druids are usually pretty good. That being said, it did lose the pocket thingy, and adding pain to these things now does not sound as great. I could do this on the brute, because again, the brute having more health and the stun is really powerful. It does make it like these sides now only deal 2 damage and not even have the shield effect because we're taking 2 damage from it, but that's pretty cool. Okay, we've got a lot of enemies here. Let's see what happens. Okay. A few things. The imps, every time we attack them, we take 1 damage. Bones, every time they die, they deal 1 damage to adjacent allies, so that's pretty good for us. And the sniper is in the back. So if we can find ways to deal damage to everyone, it's really solid. So what is our strategy here? It'd be nice if we could get like a nice scald. I just don't know if we have any way of dealing damage to multiple enemies. I think we have to do them individually, which is a bit unfortunate. So let's just do this for sure. The knight can... Oh, that's the brute. Yeah, the brute can do that. Let's look for other stuff here. Shield? We can grab a shield. Okay. So, let's deal 1 to the bone here. You know, we can even kill the bone. Wait, oh. I just realized. Balance will deal 1 to all enemies. So I could do a balance this turn, and next turn do a scald, which will deal a lot of damage to everyone. That's a pretty good combo, I just realized, huh? I waste the heal, but I do like the potential of dealing damage to everyone, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to heal my knight. I'm going to give them a knight that. And let's... Who's a pain right now? The imp is annoying, but that's fine. We'll do this. All right. Now we just need 3 mana, and we win. That's not 3 mana. That's 1 mana. Okay, we did not get 3 mana. That's fine. Let's kill the bone. Let's kill this guy. Wait, did I not? I don't have enough. I mean, it's fine. I probably had a way of actually having enough, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, alright. It's probably gonna flee now. Another one down. Level 5 item. Let's see what we got. Replace the middle column with 2 blanks, but a middle plus 4 mana. It's pretty specific. Or plus 2 HP this fight whenever I save a hero. Now, what does this mean? It means that if you saw that the hero was like on yellow, like was about to die, and you give it shield or heal it, which prevents it from dying, that counts as you saving a hero. Now, it doesn't say restore, right? I forgot how this stuff works. It's not healed. It is plus 2 max health. That's pretty good, but I don't really have many. I could try to go for a random item as well, but let's try it. I guess I do have a healer, right? We'll give it to the druid. Okay. Okay, well, I think it counts for itself, by the way. We got the stun, that's great. That's 4 damage, that's wonderful. Okay, so I think it counts for itself. It did, check this out, right? Like you can see the extra health I got from saving myself. That's really cool. All right, so the ghost is pretty annoying. When you reach this area, so if you deal more than 2 damage, it will become immune this turn, unless you one-shot it, pretty much. But that's not gonna happen. So we definitely want to deal at least 2 damage to it. Slimer will summon a Slimet after you reach that little point. There really isn't a lot to talk about with this game. Well, it's funny because, again, like, the point of this game is it's very simple in concept. It just has a bunch of random, unique abilities and random, unique monsters and stuff. It's just very simple, and that's really the beauty of it. I'm gonna stun this ghost. Screw you, nobody likes you. I'm also gonna deal damage to it. There you go. I don't think I was able to one-shot it, so let's get some mana. Let's heal our root. And yeah, that's pretty good. I don't need to use any of my mana right now, so. Book. Bonk. Okay, so we can kill the ghost, so that's great. Okay, 3 damage is pretty good up there. 2 damage here, 3 damage here is gonna be fine. Another stun, that's pretty good. So we can do 2 damage. Oh, actually, wait, can I do a... No, I don't have enough mana. Man, that's a shame I don't have enough mana. That would have been really a good time to have mana. Let's do... Let's see. Okay, well, let's kill this ghost. Cool. We still have the Dabbler taking damage from the imp down there. So let's kill that imp, shall we? Bonk. And bonk. And we can do... Yeah, we can just kill this imp off. And stun the Slimer. Alright. Boom, boom. Just looking for damage here. Okay, whatever. It's gonna create a little Slimet. Cute little, funny little boy. It's probably gonna run away. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got our first level 3 character here. These tend to be pretty powerful. Whoa! These are wait. This is very, very basic. Just a bunch of high damage, but we also have that item that just increases the damage of all these things. That's potentially really powerful. Or shield, 1 damage cleave chain. ×2 of this share the previous keyword with the dice this turn. Yeah, it's specific. I'm gonna take the Ludus. Just very straightforward, but with the stone. Oh man, +1 damage everywhere. This Ludus is gonna deal a nice amount of damage. All right. The Rotten is spooky. You have to kill it pretty quickly. It has a unique thing where all heroes get -1 HP at the end of each turn, like max HP. So you have to kill it pretty fast. Like, we'll be fine, but it is definitely a little spooky. Okay. Oh, I rolled the worst one. Okay, that is how much damage? 7 damage. Bam! Can I get it half? I don't think no, I can't get it half. Okay, let's kill some bones. Let's gain some mana so we can kill this bone here. I'm actually going to kill this bone up here. And I'm going to shield the guy down there. It's poisoning all 3 of my guys down there, which is a little spooky. That's going to continue poisoning. Yeah, we really have to kill it fast. But we now that we've got the Ludus, we're dealing good damage. And let's do this. I guess we can do this. Okay. Cool. Well, 5 damage goes here. Bonk. Boom. And oh, that's heavy. I forgot. So I'm gonna bring that back. I'm gonna do this. I'm still gonna do it actually. 2 mana. How does this work again? 1 damage to all enemies, and then heal. I don't know. My druid is taking a lot of poison damage. I'm a little scared about that. We're gonna keep our mana, and we're just gonna skip it. Okay, we just have to kill him this turn. Yeah, so these 2 will die even if we get any amount of shield. We just need some cleansing. So we just need to kill everybody right now. That's actually a low roll for my Ludus. That's pretty good. And let's grab 2 of these. That should be enough damage. Yeah, it's totally enough damage. Whew. All right. Level 6 items. What do we got? We got an urn. Urn, add enduring to all sides. Enduring keywords remain when the side is replaced, if possible. I'm not too sure what that means. I think it's when you're rolling. So when you're rolling, you're constantly getting all the keywords of every dice. That's of every side. It seems interesting. Set the pips, gosh darn it, of the rightmost side to the maximum of my other side's pips. If you replace a side with a different side, I'd assume, yeah, but that usually happens out of combat. So I don't think these kind of things are remembered. So unless it is through a very specific thing, right? Remain when the side is replaced. I think it is replaced. You're right. So it's specific. It really has to work with something else. Height of the rightmost side to the maximum. That's pretty good with this guy, huh? It gives me 2 7s instead of having a 3 at the bottom, over there. Let's grab it. Boom, now you have a 7 there. Woo! Nice. We got a Hydra. Hydras are big boys. But you can find pretty consistent ways of killing them, which I will show in just a moment. So, the Hydra dies if it takes damage 5 times in a row. So, that's what we're gonna do. Bump. And then it'll run away. That was a pretty easy fight. We just happened to have a lot of damaging characters, so usually it can be pretty dangerous, but here it worked out. Okay, level 3. Honestly, I hate my Caldera. It sucks. So I'm hoping to change that, but what does the Artificer do? Plus 4 mana single use, though. Plus 2 damage charge single use. Charge means we have plus 1 pip for each stored mana. We don't have a lot of mana stuff, so probably not. Yeah, I don't like this. What do you do? Plus 1 damage charge, plus 1 pip for each stored mana. Gosh darn it, I don't want stored. Also, I just don't like you. You have too many effects, and you're not very interesting. Let's get a random one. Warlock. What does a Warlock do? Plus 2 mana Bloodlust. Plus 1 pip for each damaged enemy. Ooh. Plus 3 damage single use and self-heal. And plus 4 mana Pain. Ooh, boy. Oh yeah, it also comes with Blaze. That's the big thing. For 6 mana, we can deal 13 damage. Okay. The Warlock is pretty crazy. Actually, it's really good to have the regeneration, because I take damage from this stuff. So that's pretty good. Okay, Cyclops. They're powerful, but they do get stunned if you get to the middle, which is it's nice because it's kind of like an eye in the middle, right? It's a nice touch. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get a stun. And we also have the Thorn, right? Remember, the Thorn was really annoying. You have to just attack it, and you will take 5 damage from it. 5 damage from it. Let's take that. Let's roll these 2. 4 damage Pain is dangerous, but I'll take it. Okay. I don't think I can kill that, so yeah, that's annoying. I can now stun the Cyclops, which is quite nice. I can also save someone with my Druid. So it's going to give him extra health. And now I can do... Wait, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to give shield to my Warlock, and then I'm going to do the Pain. So I'm going to get a lot of mana here. And we're going to stun this Cyclops, and I guess we'll deal 2 damage to it. Petrified me. Which means that one of my sides is now blank. 2 of my sides are blank. Another stun, fantastic. 7 damage, fantastic. 2 damage, it's gonna be useful to kill the Thorn. 3 damage and self-heal, right? Yes. Perfect. Okay. So, let's definitely deal the 2 damage here. Ouch, but that's okay. Let's deal the... Okay, well, let's do this. Let's stun this guy, and let's stun this guy. No one attacks. Screw you guys. No one likes you. Alright. Now we just need to... Oh, we have another stun. My gosh, we've been rolling that stun so much. That's a low roll. I'm gonna go for higher. Nice. Kill this guy. Boom. Boom. Stun you. Alright, we're good. It was already stunned, I think, but it doesn't matter. Boom, boom. Sure. All right. We are 5 fights away from completing this run, potentially, but I think this is a good time to give my thoughts on the game, and if you want to see the final part of this run, then you should catch me live. So, slice and dice. I think it's a really, really cool way of doing a strategy turn-based roguelike. It's so casual, more than most people would realize. The fact that there's no commitment, the fact that when you finish a fight, you're done. You just move to the next one. You don't have like consumables to worry about. You don't have to worry about like how the beginning of the run started and should I grab that, how much money I have. No. Every fight is just its own little minigame. And that's about it. I think it's really cool to have that. All the item choices are so interesting. Every time you find an item, it will usually have a new keyword, like a new mechanic that you've probably never seen before because there's so many of them. And you're like, oh my gosh, that works perfectly with this really specific niche thing that I have, and I want to try that out, right? So add mana game to all sides with exactly one pipe. And you're like, oh my gosh, my character has really powerful like one pipe things, right? And you're like, perfect, I'm just gonna give that to him. That's so crazy. Or what about this guy? Immune to damage during my turn. Okay, yeah, that's also a really interesting one, right? Like for self-damaging characters, like my Warlock. My Warlock has like 2 massive like pain effects. You could just give the thimble, and it's like really powerful. It has such cool, unique like designs in all the items. I think it's fantastic in that regard. All the enemies, I think, first of all, I have great little artwork. Like that ogre is. I don't like the way it's looking at me, but it's cool. You have to look at their unique little, keyword, I guess, and like, oh, +1 pipe once you reach a certain point. The blind is at the end of the turn. If no damage was dealt to any monster, I flee. You're like, ooh, I could just try to not do anything, or I could try to kill it. Every fight, the game gives you this board, and you just have to figure out the little puzzle. I think it's awesome. The fact that when you start a fight, first of all, the dice rolls are very satisfying. Everything is explained. There might be a lot to keep track of, but everything is explained. You know exactly where things are going. Bad example, usually it's not that chaotic. But you always know who is targeting what. You can always undo your actions. It's very generous. The game does not want to be like, you screwed up, screw you. No. It's just, it wants players to take their time. And I think that's just such a wonderful aspect of the game that I don't get to see very often in a lot of roguelikes. So, I think this game is fantastic for people that just want to pick something up for a little strategy game without having to worry too much about commitment or really getting to understand how the game works. No, like everything that's on the screen should make sense. There's a lot to keep track of, don't get me wrong, but it's all there. And the little progression from one area to another, we have different little backgrounds. You just have to go to the 20 levels. Is a really simple and fun little challenge. The game is not trying to get too fancy. It's just like, yeah, that's all you have to do. And I love seeing all the different modes of the game. I showcased it a little earlier at the beginning. There are so many modes in this game. It is kind of ridiculous. You can do so many things. I haven't tried a lot of the modes because I just think that the original modes themselves are just good as they are. I don't really care about having to go through all the different game modes in there. Like there's a lot for everyone, but I think the original one is great. And there's different difficulties. The difficulty options are really well designed. It's not like, oh, +1 health or you deal less damage or whatever. It would feel pretty bad in a game like this, in my opinion. No, the difficulties are in a way so that when you start the run, if you play a higher difficulty, it will give you like 10 curses that do very specific things. For instance, like during your turn, you can only choose 2 dice to keep when you reroll, or every fight add an extra spider, or enemies deal +1 damage on the first turn. And each of these curses cost a certain amount of curse points. And when you're doing like hard difficulty, you have to fill up 5 curse points. For instance, I didn't remember the specific numbers, right? But the idea is that like you start the running like, okay, these are the curses you can try to choose from. Pick however many you need in order to reach 5 curse points. And the insane mode is 10 points, I think. And that means you have to grab like 3 crazy curses and you have to get yourself through it. And it's great because the player is the one themselves giving like choosing the difficulty options. It's up to the player what works best for them. And there's a lot of unique curses, which is great. That means that difficulty options are always interesting. So playing on hard mode is not always the same kind of hard mode. The modifiers are always different, and it's up to you to choose what kind of difficulty you want. Same goes for easy modes. There are like 2 easier modes, and it's the same thing. You can choose up to 5 blessings, which are the same thing, like possible like ups that you can grab. Fantastic difficulty option. I love it so much. So yeah, there's just an insane amount of content. 130 achievements, but more importantly, yeah, you have 128 different characters, and you could always look at the different, like their dice and stuff like that. They all have really pretty unique things. The green ones are the really, really weird ones. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read that. You'll have to discover that for yourself. Look at all these monsters, and you can really see like the big bosses at the end as well. Like everything's shown. Because it's not trying to be like super spoily. Yes, there are a few monsters that you have to unlock to see, but it's not like a big like hula la big monster, haha. And of course, 470 items. That blows my mind. 470 freaking items. That's crazy. Like seriously, wow. So yeah, this game has a lot. And I think it just does things really well. You know, like it's simple and it's great. I just love it. You know, it's a game that I would really recommend for anyone who wants a strategy game that is casual, fun, but still has a lot of strategy to it. You know, like you really have to understand a lot of these mechanics in order to comfortably be able to get around certain things. So yeah. Like Darda said in the chat, there's not too much to say in the end, because there it is, you know? Like, the game is showing you everything it has, really, from the start. It's just like, here's how the game is. And if you like it, then you're gonna have a blast for a long time. If it's not your kind of game, then so be it. As for me, then the game is fantastic. I love the simplicity of it. And I love just the vibe it has, and the music is kind of cute. You know, there's no like, even the final boss does not have crazy music, because even when you get to the final encounter, it's still supposed to be pretty casual. It's still impressive, don't get me wrong. When you get to the final encounter, it's a big monster, right? But still. So yeah, that's Slice and Dice. I love it. I think a lot of people can really enjoy this kind of game, and especially with the crazy amount of accessibility options, once again, that I did showcase. It's so cool to see an indie game have that many options for everyone to just enjoy. Massive props to that. You don't see that very often. That's Slice and Dice, and that's about it.